Good evening. I'll call the meeting to order. This is our last meeting before school commences, so it's our last summer meeting, and then we roll into 25-26. So first order of business is a Pledge of Allegiance, 1.02.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice, leaving the microphone on. Item 1.03, approval revision of agenda. Are there any revisions proposed tonight? Okay. All right, item 2.01, President's Report.
We need a motion and a second, a vote?
I'm sorry, motion. Chrissy, in a second. Ann? 2.01, President's Report. We didn't vote. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay.
Nobody's upset, we like how you're here.
Okay.
Keep it moving.
Bear with me, I'm a little rusty.
And adjournment.
2.01, no vote required. So I'm going to give you a few bullets for the President's Report. First, the superintendent search update. The board, in partnership with Dr. Cook, have conducted preliminary review of all candidate applications. And we had a great meeting last week, and we're going to begin our first round interviews in early September. So we're happy with that progress, and we'll keep the community posted as we continue along the way. Second, committee meeting schedules. Sarah Gridley has been or will be reaching out to poll committee members to determine dates and times for meetings for the academic year ahead. And wanted to revisit the legislative liaison conversation. We talked about potentially a potential student group interest, either a public policy course, students, or any other configuration, and just wanted to bring it back to the board to see if people had any thoughts about it, if we wanted to kind of move anything forward tonight. I'll leave that open now.
I'm still interested in helping with that process. I think the first step would be meeting with the students and see what their interest level is, and then taking a look at legislative meetings and see if we can come up with a schedule that the board might appreciate.
What do we think would be a good next step in terms of meeting with students? I think it would be working with our student board member. So we can reach out to Jacob. Sarah and I can follow up on that conversation that we had with him and see what he thinks. It would probably be meeting with students at the beginning of the year, get them back in school and get going. And then, okay, so we will follow up with you on that. And just some upcoming reminders for our work at the end of August. We need to know if you can attend or not for these two events. So August 25th is the 8 a.m. special meeting, followed by the introduction of new staff, which is a great tradition that we attend every year if possible, followed by the facilities tour, the building tours. And I'm just gonna put Sarah and or Dr. Tice on the spot. When do we think those tours might wrap up? I was thinking around noon, but I wanted your thoughts.
Yeah, our intent after speaking about it, the facilities committee, is to visit all the buildings. I think we'll spend the majority of our time at the high school to take a look at the work that's been happening there. But yes, our intent is to finish up by 11:30 or noon, back at Eagle Hill. A bus will be provided, and so you can leave your car there, unless, a couple last year had to drive separately.
Okay, so if you can just let Sarah know your status, if you can attend. And then the second is August 27th is opening day at the high school. Greg, it's at the high school?
That's plan A.
Until further notice, it is at the high school at 8 a.m. on August 27th.
Right.
And
Refreshments will be provided at 7:30, and then we'll start promptly at 8.
Great, and we would just love to know if you can attend or not attend that. So again, let the team know. And that is all I've got.
If I may add one more, and be presumptuous, I believe the NISBA, right, we've talked about it today, the NISBA conference registration opens tomorrow, if there's any interest. It's just, if there is interest, we should plan accordingly, or else we'll be staying back here because the headquarter hotel will fill up quickly.
Okay, and that is, I'm just trying to find it in the agenda because the dates are there for development. October 23rd to 25th in New York City. And it is a great conference to attend if you're a new board member or a returning board member. And just let us know what you're thinking on that.
There is a digital option if you're not able to travel.
Okay, great. Moving on to 2.02 Superintendent's Report.
Thank you, Vice President Cohen. The superintendent's report and backup information is located in board docs. Item 1, capital project update. The summer construction season is progressing nicely as cranes, scaffolding, and material storage areas are visible throughout the campus as this work pushes forward to make as much progress as possible during the summer months. I had a chance before this evening's meeting to sneak through the high school, and it is just amazing. Amazing that there's a lot of work yet to be done to clean up. Furniture delivery was today, but just the work that's happened is really special, especially the memorial pavers at the FM Education Foundation. They've been installed in the courtyard, so we're definitely moving to the future, but preserving the past, and I know that's been important to the Facilities Committee. Our work on the high school's $52 million project continues this summer, which includes renovations to the former main office and expanded renovated cafeteria, science classroom additions as well. The video screen has been installed in the learning stair area of the new cafeteria, and that looks outstanding as well. Coupled with the progress of the $15.4 million roofing, safety, and security project, our custodial and maintenance crews have been busy preparing the buildings for the return of the students in September. It's our intent to get the other buildings ready and pull as many to the high school at the last minute, much like was done last year. As reported earlier, SAM's grant funding from New York Assemblyman Al Sturpey's office will enable us to install 4 electronic message boards at FM High School, Eagle Hill Middle and Enders Road Elementary, the Wellwood Fayetteville campus, and Mott Road Elementary in time for the start of the new school year. In fact, additional funding came through from his office for yet another sign the following summer at Pride Lane. So again, for the folks watching, it's important to know that all of this was paid for through a SAM's grant from Assemblyman Al Sturpey and not through district funds. Item next, school start time committee. With the new high school bell schedule established for the upcoming school year, the school start time committee will continue their work in the early autumn, whether to consider a flip, slide, or flip and slide solution for the 26-27 academic year. As reported earlier, our scheduling consultant, Elliot Marenblum, a former school administrator from the Baltimore, Maryland area and an expert across the country, has been very helpful in allowing the committee to sort through different bell scheduling options in an effort to consider all possibilities. I spoke with him last week and again today as he prepares for our work in September. And this is important because by lengthening the high school day by the much anticipated 30-minute lunch periods, the start and stop schedules for the middle schools and the elementary schools could be pushed later into the afternoon via the slide option unless a flip or flip and slide option is implemented. As mentioned in a recent Parent Square Dispatch and district website article, the district is looking for parents and students who are interested in joining the committee, and they should reach out to the district clerk, complete the form, and indicate their availability and interest. Item next, and I know our district clerk is going to help with the show and tell portion of the superintendent's report. The cell phone policy and administrative regulation. I'd like to thank the Board of Ed for adopting the policy addressing the prohibition of personal internet-enabled devices. The administration has developed an accompanying administrative regulation that will be shared later this week with stakeholder group representatives. To that end, we'll dispatch more information by the end of this week or early next week to the community after informing the staff so that we are complying with Governor Hochul's directive. As a spoiler alert, and that should be on the screen, the school-issued Faraday pouches will sport a school logo and will feature a noisy fluorescent Velcro tab to ensure that it's closed, storage hook, ID badge holder, inner foil lining that will scramble cell phone signals, and a water-resistant outer shell to protect against liquids and spills. And item last, our new school district website. I'd like to express my sincere appreciation and gratitude to the Capital Region BOCES Communications Department team and to our own Community Relations Committee, affectionately called the CRC, for their work to prepare and then launch the new school district website. The year-long endeavor was a labor of love, I use that term loosely, as the team surveyed stakeholders for input and then worked to implement the many suggestions and recommendations into a fully functional website. Where the former website looked to be mobile-friendly, which was a key probably a decade ago, and to promote ADA accessibility features, the new website takes this work a step further by putting more information at your fingertips with fewer clicks, in addition to linking the calendars for the most up-to-date schedule information for school functions, including interscholastic athletics. Thank you to everyone who was involved. The new website looks outstanding. And I'm assuming, Sarah, you're scrolling through and it just is outstanding. That ends my report.
Thanks, Dr. Tice. Does anyone have any questions or follow-up on any of those items?
Just one, I may have missed it, but we haven't seen the administrative regulation on that yet, correct?
The draft FAQ, which is what we translated it into, that was sent out Friday. So the accompanying reg, I want the stakeholder group to look at that Thursday, but it's going to be based on the FAQs you saw Friday. And all the stakeholders have the FAQ sheet, which is what will appear on the website. So have you seen it officially? No, but you've seen exactly where it'll come from.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Good, we'll move on if no other comments or questions. Item 2.03, reports, committee and representative updates. As you know, we've been really working on reporting quarterly. So our last report was July, our next would be October. But that said, is there anyone that would like to report on committee work that they think would be significant tonight? Looking at you, Dan.
Yeah, there's always a lot of facilities work being done. But really two things. The primary topic that we talked about at our most recent facilities meeting was there are a lot of deliverables that are due to the district to be turned over to the district spaces on August 29th, the high school. Sure, I could yell it across, yeah.
Perfect.
There are a lot of spaces that are due to be turned over to the district on August 29th, which is obviously very close to the beginning of the school year, also the Labor Day weekend. As of our most recent facilities meeting last week, we were told that all of those spaces are on target and are on schedule to be turned over on time. I do want to thank in advance of that our incredible internal staff and team that is going to spend the bulk of Labor Day weekend working to get those spaces ready for our teachers and students. There's going to be a ton of work that they're going to take on, and they do a phenomenal job with that. They will get those spaces ready. I do want to caution anybody that is in the building, whether it's for opening or us on tour. We've seen this with construction projects before. You may be there in that building 48 hours before it opens, and it may look like, oh my God, there's no way this is going to come together. It comes together. internal team does an incredible job of that, and it will, when we're doing the tour there, you will ask yourselves, how is this going to be possible? It will come together. The roofing project, roofing and security project, we've been blessed with great weather this summer, so they've made great progress on that. That is also on schedule. The one thing that we've not talked about as a board, just as a preview of coming attractions, is we do know that one of the focuses that we've already started to turn to post-high school is the next project, which Eagle Hill and Enders are the focal points of. We're also looking at how to go back to Wellwood and finish components of Wellwood. One of the things that will be seen as the earliest phase of that is the modular classrooms that are at the high school, which turns out to have been probably one of the best purchases this district has ever made, because of we got the use at Wellwood, we got the use at the high school. Those are going to be relocated at the beginning of the summer of 26, next summer, to the Eagle Hill Enders Road campus. Exactly where is still in the process of being determined, but so that we can add some flex space to those schools, some space under AC to those schools, and be able to use those for the project that gets determined on that campus. That'll be the earliest part of that next project that you'll see. That's all I have at this point in time on that, unless there's any questions.
Great, thank you. We'll move on to public comment 3.01. I believe we have one community member here tonight to speak.
Just put this down so I can see it. Thank you. Good evening, folks. My name is Roseanne Lorifus, and I am a Manlius resident and resided here for about 48 years. My children were educated in the FM system all the way through, and we had no complaints. I'm here tonight as an FM voter and as a member of CCAA, which is Climate Change Awareness and Action. We are a local nonprofit working to educate folks about our concern for greenhouse gases, as you know, the result of the use of fossil fuels. We advocate for ways to lessen their impact, and I'd like this FM school board to revisit the idea of electric school buses this year. I respectfully ask that. I remember from the May vote that the district experimented with this, and the outcome was not very positive. At least that's the way it was reported to the voters. I respectfully suggest that there's a better way to go about this topic, and the key work is planning and partnership and using available resources to assess the feasibility. I also know that the first issue that jumps out at folks is the cost, but there is funding available even for school districts like FM. Funding that can be accessed. In the long run, there are savings, but it is a step-by-step process to make this successful endeavor. And Governor Kathy Hochul in July announced that an additional $200 million is now available for zero-emission school buses through the third installment of funding from the historic $4.2 billion Clean Water, Clean Air, and Clean Jobs Environmental Bond Act. The funding distributed through the the New York State Bus Incentive Program, BIP, supports the purchase, the charging, the fleet electrification planning as public schools transition to zero-emission technologies that improve air quality and reduce pollution in communities. This investment helps ensure that school children, drivers, and communities where they live across New York benefit from clean, quiet, and healthy buses. I would encourage you to investigate this issue from several perspectives. Yes, we want to protect our environment. We also want to protect the health of our children who are constantly exposed to diesel fumes, and we want to give them clear air to breathe. The key partner in this locally is Clean Communities of Central New York. It is the conduit for New York State BIP, the Bus Incentive Program, and the EPA Clean School Bus Program. Its director is Barry Carr, and I can leave you with contact information as well as online resources. Through Barry, you can initially start having an audit of the school district. I don't know if this was done before, but it's a free service. Maybe it needs to be done in a different way to see what's feasible, and that's what this is a great starting point. I'm suggesting some steps. First of all, get in touch with Barry. He is the local person that has helped other school districts. Have that audit if you haven't already done. Continue with it. Develop a collaborative mindset. Develop a list of questions. Create short, medium, and long-term priorities. Look at some of the resources that I hope to provide you with as a beginning, it's not the end, and read the guidebooks that are available. Appoint maybe an electric school bus committee, so your staff becomes involved. Develop a fleet electrification plan. Contact the utility, learn about those resources. Reach out to bus manufacturers, talk to your fire department. Start small. I'd like to leave you with that thought, but as a former teacher, of course, I have handouts. And this is Barry Carr's contact information, as well as some online resources. I know it's a controversial topic. I know it's expensive, but I know the effort has really been worthwhile in other districts. You can start with one bus, go on from there. I've got one for you too.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for your time, and I hope for your consideration. I also would offer myself, not as the be-all and end-all as far as information, as a contact person, and as someone who is willing to work with you throughout the year. It's not a one-shot deal to help put this into effect. Thanks again.
Thanks so much for coming out and sharing that information on this important topic. We appreciate it. All right, next item under public comment, public hearing is item 3.02, public hearing on the district safety plan. I'm going to need a motion to open the hearing. Chrissy, and a second? Sarah? And I'll now invite any comment from the community on the district safety plan. Being that there is no comment, we will now close the hearing. I need a motion, please. Anne and Dan is the second. And we have now closed the public hearing. Second public hearing, item 3.03, code of conduct. Need a motion to open the hearing. Marissa, a second from Chrissy. I'll invite comment. No comment tonight on the code of conduct. I'll now need a motion to close the hearing. Sarah, and a second from Anne. Thank you. Item 4.01, proposed executive exempt session. Be it resolved that the Board of Education and the Fayetteville-Manlius Central School District enter into executive session for the purpose of approving matters that will imperil the public safety if disclosed, the employment history of a particular person, collective negotiations, and the superintendent's contract. I need a motion. Chrissy, in a second. And a vote. All in favor? Okay. Any opposed? Sarah. All right, to the public, we are going into session for those 4 items I just mentioned. It may be a few minutes, and then we will come back out for the remainder of our meeting. Thank you. Okay. We are back. Thank you for your patience. We are moving on to 5 new business. Item 5.01, confirmation of tax rolls. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius Central School District approve the resolution of tax rolls as presented. I need a motion. Marissa and Chrissy, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? 5.02, approval of the tax levy. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius Central School District approve the school tax levy in the amount of $75,127,561, and the library tax levy in the amount of $3,604,203, which makes the total tax warrant $78,731,764 before star reimbursement for the 2025-26 fiscal year. I need a motion.
Can you repeat that?
I practiced. Dan, and a second. Sarah, any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Abstentions? Great. 5.03, approval of the tax certiorari settlement. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius Central School District hereby approves of the tax certiorari settlement agreement with Fayetteville Hotel Ownership LLC as proposed by legal counsel. I need a motion. Chrissy, and a second. Sarah, any discussion?
I just have a question. Is this the crash or is this something different?
Any other questions? All in favor? Opposed, abstentions? Great. Passed. Item 5.04, policies and second reading. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius Central School District hereby adopts the following policies in second reading: revised policy 7670 and new policy 8113, and adopts the 5000 series policies into second reading and defers enactment until the completion of the policy review. Need a motion? Sarah, a second. Christy, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? 5.05, resolution for the Special Patrol Officer and School Information Resource Officer agreements. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius School District hereby approve the Special Patrol Officer and School Information Resource Officer agreements as presented. Thank you. Marissa, a second. Anne, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. 5.06, approval of agreements with Contact Community Services. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius Central School District hereby authorizes the district to enter into agreements for the 2025-26 school year with Contact Community Services for the Student Assistance Program and the Mental Health Educator Program in the cumulative amount of $250,712.00.
So,
Thank you, Marissa. Second. Chrissy, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? 5.07, approval of minutes from the July 30th, 2025 meeting. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius Central School District hereby approves the minutes of the special meeting held on July 30th, 2025 as presented. Motion? Anne, second. Chrissy, any discussion?
Yeah, I just have a question on time. There's something that transpires on times, and I don't remember my calendar, what time we actually started. Was that a 6 p.m. meeting or an earlier meeting?
5:30.
So the reason why I'm asking is, it says at the beginning that the meeting was called to order at 6. At the very end, it says that we went into executive session at 4:30. Is this the one where we
This
met
is the
before?
fourth, it was the one where you met before, so I will amend that.
Okay. Because we started the meeting, then immediately went
To
to executive session.
Yeah, the meeting started at 5, the next meeting at 5 o'clock that I showed up for.
This meeting was 4:30.
Yeah.
4:30 to 5.
It started at 4:30.
Yeah.
Started at 4:30.
Okay. Okay, thanks. So just with that change up.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? I'm abstaining. I was not present.
Okay,
We don't have,
We don't have.
you're right, we don't.
So that's gotta get tabled.
Tabled.
Next.
Yep.
So I would move to table that until next.
Need a motion? Second? Chrissy? Need a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Tabling? Opposed? Great. Item 5.08, Resolution District Safety Plan. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius School District hereby approve the 2025-26 District Safety Plan as presented. Need a motion?
So moved.
Marissa, second. Ann? Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Resolution Code of Conduct, item 5.09. Be it resolved, the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius School District hereby approve the 2025-26 Code of Conduct as presented. Need a motion? Sarah, and a second. Ann? Any discussion? All in favor? Approved. Item 6.01, Board Development. This is just a reminder that the NYSBA Annual Convention registration opens tomorrow, and the event is October 23rd to the 25th in New York City. So check out the details and let Sarah Gridley know if you're interested. It would be great to have people attend, or a few board members attend. That said, I know everyone's pretty busy in the fall, but take a look and see if it could work in your schedule. That is it for 6.01. 6.02, potential considerations for future meetings. Here you can see what is on the docket right now. Does anyone have any other items they might want to add to this? If you can't think of anything right now, please let Sarah Fitzgerald and I know if you're interested, and we'll bring that into agenda planning for discussion. 7.01, future meetings calendar. We are looking ahead at August 25th for that special meeting at 8 o'clock. Let us know if you can attend that series of events. And then not on here, but the 27th is opening day. So again, let us know, just a little plug for that. And then here is our slate of meetings through June. So does anyone have any comments or thoughts on future meetings? Okay. 7.02, dates to remember, kind of repeating what I just said, some of the same dates. Curriculum nights, open houses, back to school picnics, homecoming, all on here. So throw them on your calendar or sync your calendar, better yet, to the new website, which is amazing. And you will never miss an FM event again. It really is an amazing website. Everyone should check it out. Okay, much more user-friendly. And we are now at consent agenda. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius Central School District hereby approves the consent agenda as presented. I need a motion.
So moved.
Marissa, a second. Chrissy? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Passes. And that is it. I'm now gonna make a motion to adjourn. Be it resolved, well, hold on. I'm going to take a recommended action. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Fayetteville-Manlius Central School District adjourns the meeting at 7:27. Need a motion? Second? All in favor? please note this on my record. that We did a under 90-minute meeting. Adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Rebecca, who seconded that?
I think it was, I'm gonna say it was Ann.
Yeah, perfect, thank you. It only matches.